Master Mother here, welcome to the Hour of the Beast. I wanted to talk more about my anxiety. I wanted people to know why I'm anxious. I'm anxious. I honestly don't know how people just do a live stream because I'm so good at stopping my sentences and pausing for long intervals of time because I can't think of the right words to say. But the reason why I actually am suffering from the majority of the anxiety, I don't think it's all to do with it. I think probably my problem stems from the fact I've probably been born anxious. But I suffer from a phobia called a emetophobia, which is a fear of vomiting. And it is so severe. This is what is life-limiting me. I can't really do anything at all. So obviously I just joke around with people and tell them, you know, oh, can you come in the house? Can you wash your hands? Because I'm a germaphobe. Don't eat out in restaurants and I don't get takeaways and all that kind of thing. Yeah, so one of the main reasons I'm anxious to go out is because I'm afraid I will feel sick or be sick. You know, it limits my life. It limits what I can do. It must have a massive impact on my happiness that I don't even realise. I've had this problem ever since I've been a tiny child. I can't even remember a time I didn't have this problem. I remember asking my mum every night before I went to bed or went to sleep, you know, will I be sick tonight? Will I be okay? And she'd say, no, you'll be fine, you'll be fine. So, I mean, this was like a really, really big problem for me. It's amazing, really, that I've had children because I've even read of some people with this particular phobia who couldn't bring themselves to have children because of the morning sickness. So that's one of my main reasons. I'm afraid to drive very far in my car in case I feel motion sick or in case I start panicking, and the panic in itself makes people feel nauseated and sick. But sometimes if I'm in traffic, I suddenly feel really trapped, and that can bring on you know, the symptoms that I don't want, and I start to feel nauseated, which is a complete panic for me because I'm then stuck in a traffic jam somewhere where I cannot escape, I can't calm down. I've learned a lot of breathing exercises over the years, and I think the only hope for me is to have clinical hypnosis, and I'd need a really, really good hypnotherapist to help me. And if I could have somebody like Paul McKenna, then I would gladly pay. A couple of decades ago, I'm not sure if it was possible, I think it was possible that you could actually privately pay Paul McKenna, I don't know if it was £10,000, and I'm probably completely wrong, and not that he's ever going to watch this, but I've happily paid £10,000 to someone like him to take away my phobia because it's so severe. This is why it's so hard for me to go anywhere, because of this underlying fear which affects me pretty much every second of every day that I'm awake. I don't ever put my hands in my mouth. I do really occasionally. I'll wash some fruit and I'll wash it really thoroughly with soap, and then I'll wash my hands, obviously washing my hands really thoroughly, and then I will eat a piece of fruit, but I don't really eat the fruit that often. I've never been drunk in my life. I don't think I'd ever want to be drunk anyway, but I've never been drunk for that reason. I have travelled occasionally, and how I've done it, I don't know. So obviously every now and again I get the courage up to go somewhere, but most of the time it's a crippling fear, and obviously most people can't comprehend it and they can't understand it at all, which is, you know, it's the way it's meant to be. I don't suppose you're supposed to understand something like that. So there are people that have phobias of pigeons and some of buttons. You know, people can laugh about it and say, well, how can you have a phobia about pigeons or buttons or whatever? But it's not about the object itself, it's about the fear. That is my story. And that is the reason for the majority of my anxiety. Am I an anxious person outside of that? I don't know, because that has moulded me and modelled me so much throughout my life. I can only presume it's given me more and more and more anxiety as I've got older, because for a lot of the time, phobias just get worse. Just like a lot of problems in life, if you leave them alone and you don't deal with them, they just get worse, and you reinforce the same protective behaviour and the fear just builds up. So I know some people have spoken about some kind of exposure to it, but honestly I can't be exposed to my phobia. It's too much. I can't deal with it. I never even spoke about this pretty much to anybody in my whole life, and I didn't let my children know because I was so afraid they'd get the same phobia. So a lot of them had no idea until quite recently that I even had this problem. I certainly didn't know when they were children. It's terrifying to think of somebody else being in this situation. That's what I wanted to share. I have to try and get out more. I have to try and push myself, and I will document it, and I will honestly, from my heart, describe what it feels like to me and what my challenges were. It would be very boring because the only places I ever go, occasionally to the garden centre because it's literally next door. The MOT station was literally around the corner, even closer than the garden centre, and the Tesco is 0.9 miles away, so I go there in my car and I still have to feel 100% well before I can even just drive the 2 minutes to Tesco. And I don't usually go further afield than that. My parents live around the corner, which is maybe a 4 to 5 minute drive. They're really close, 1.2 miles away. It's pretty much around the corner. I can also go around there. Again, I have to feel 100% okay. So I can't really go out if I've got a migraine or if I already feel a little bit unwell. I just can't do it. And if I have to go to hospital appointments, it's just a fiasco. The doctor's given me, I don't cry or I don't have any particular expression on my face. I just keep it all to myself because I feel I need to stay in control of myself. And I feel if I started getting upset and, if I was going, oh my gosh, I'm so scared, that would then let me start losing control, which then I could start feeling ill because I was losing control and letting myself feel the fear, which could then trigger what I'm afraid of. So it's very difficult situation. That's my story. That's my truth at the Hour of the Beast. I'm sure some people relate to that. Either, some people have the same phobia. Apparently, this particular phobia, emetophobia, is the 7th commonest phobia to have. I thought it's so rare. I thought, who's going to have a phobia like that? If it's 7th of the commonest ones to have, it's not that rare at all. So that's my situation, and from that, of course, it triggers all the anxiety and almost the agoraphobia and all the other things. It obviously makes me into a bit of a germaphobe, and I'm not really, because obviously I go outside and I work on the land and I get filthy dirty, but I'm not putting my hands in my mouth. That's the way I kind of cope with it, and lots of other strategies too. Thanks a lot for listening, anybody who's listened to my story, which it's not easy for me to say this. I could say a lot of things that were easier than this, that might seem more shocking than this, but this one is quite hard for me to talk about. I'm going to make some more videos, yes, on me kind of trying to overcome my anxiety. Overcoming my phobia, no. I definitely need clinical hypnosis, a lot of help, and I'm going to also be looking into that. I'm a huge fan of hypnosis and self-hypnosis, and I've done quite a lot of work on that already, and no, I've not been able to help myself, but I'm quite keen to train further with hypnosis, and maybe even do some professional training with hypnosis, because it's something I really do believe in 100%. So from the Hour of the Beast, until the next time.